What's going on YouTube? This is Austin here from Austin and Dakota coming at you again with another video for you guys today. And today, I want to thank everyone for 400 subscribers. It's because of you guys that I have the motivation to keep doing videos for you guys. And Dakota and I are going to do something really special for the 400 subscribers. So stay tuned. It's going to be great. Now onto the video at hand. I saw Count Blaggerith do this video idea, or do this, and I thought I would give mine. So this is gonna be my top five albums that I want to be buried with. So he gave his 5, so I'm gonna do my 5, and if you wanna give your 5, just drop it in the comments section below. And if you want to see Count Blaggerith's video, I will leave a link in the description box below so you guys can go check it out. But yeah, these are my 5 albums, and again, emphasis on this is my top 5. So these are my top 5 albums, top 5 metal albums that I want to be buried with. So, starting things off, coming in at number 5, excuse me. But if you do want to see a top 10, let me know. My number 5, I went with Cannibal Corpse's Tomb of the Mutilated. What better way to start off top 5 than with the legendary Cannibal Corpse album? Could have went with Butchered at Birth, Eaten Back to Life, The Bleeding, or any of the other Cannibal Corpse albums when they have Corpse Grinder on lead vocals. But I just think the first 4 Cannibal Corpse albums are legendary albums. But excuse me, Tomb of the Mutilated is my favorite Cannibal Corpse album, and in my opinion, the production was on time. It was perfect. It was gritty. It was dark. The songwriting by Chris Barnes for this album was absolutely incredible. I mean, you got songs like Hammer Smashed Face, Entrails Ripped, The Cryptic Stench, Beyond the Cemetery, some stuff like that. And Chris Barnes nowadays, in my personal opinion, he can't carry a tune to save his life. That's coming from the viewpoint of a death metal fan, but that's just my opinion. But Chris Barnes' vocals nowadays, they're not as strong anymore. They're not. But when he was with Cannibal Corpse, especially for the first 4 albums, his vocals were strong. And especially on Butchered at Birth, where he went for that low, guttural sounding vocals. And then he finished out his time at Cannibal Corpse. And then right after The Bleeding, and like I said, in 1994, he left. And then in 1996, Corpse Grinder joined him for Vile. But that's one album I want to be buried with, is Cannibal Corpse's Tomb of the Mutilated. My favorite Cannibal Corpse album. Number 4, this may come as a surprise to some people, but we're going to go from death metal to metalcore, and then the rest are going to be like thrash and heavy metal. But number 4, this might come as a surprise, but I went with Killswitch Engage, their album Alive or Just Breathing. Now this album came out in 2002. What can I say about Killswitch Engage that I already haven't said already about these guys? Absolute great stuff. In my opinion, this was one of their best albums. I mean, the instrumentation, the guitar tone, some of the riffs are some of the heaviest riffs I've ever heard. Now, this is one of my favorite Killswitch Engage albums. I just think that production-wise, I want this album buried with me. Mainly for songs like Fixation on the Darkness, My Last Serenade, which is one of the best tracks on the album. My Last Serenade it's got that slow build, but then when it breaks into that first beginning riff of the song, it is brutal, headbanging heavy, and it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, this is a really, really good album. I think after the self-titled album, this album, As Daylight Dies, and The End of Heartache are the best Killswitch Engage albums. This might be my favorite Killswitch Engage album. I just think with these guys, Killswitch Engage is the best metalcore band ever, and they're my favorite metalcore band. Just heavy riffs, vocals are perfect. Absolutely love this one. So this is one album that I want buried with me. So that is my number 4, Killswitch Engage with Alive or Just Breathing. Go listen to this album if you haven't already, and come back and tell me I'm wrong. Alright, number 3. This is the third album. This is another album that I want buried with me, and in my opinion, this is one of the best albums of all time, bar none. And I went with Megadeth with Rust in Peace. Came out in 1990. I was tempted to pick either Peace Sells But Who's Buying, or So Far So Good So What, or Countdown to Extinction, because I think with Megadeth, I mean, you can't go wrong. The first 4 Megadeth albums, absolute classic stuff. Or the first 5 Megadeth albums. So that'd be Killing Is My Business, Peace Sells, So Far So Good, this one, Countdown to Extinction, and probably Euthanasia. But I think the first 5 Megadeth albums are just absolute classics. I went with Rust in Peace because, for me personally, not only do I want this album buried with me because of everything that's so perfect about this album, but for me personally, it's my favorite Megadeth album. For a while, it was So Far So Good, but I think that's like my third favorite. Countdown to Extinction's my second favorite, and this is my favorite. It's just, everything about this album, in my honest opinion, is just absolutely perfect. This was Megadeth at their high. This was a high point for Megadeth. Just absolutely everything about it. I mean, the beginning to Holy Wars, the Punishment Due, that beginning riff at the beginning part of it. Then you got like Hangar 18, Poison Was the Cure, Tornado of Souls, absolutely love that. But this is a legendary album in my honest opinion. If you really want to get into Megadeth, I'd recommend this album first. That one, this one, or Peace Sells But Who's Buying. But yeah, absolutely love it. So that's my number 3, Megadeth with Rust in Peace. Coming in at number 2, unfortunately, I don't have this album, and I kind of wish I did. But number 2, I went with Celtic Frost, however you pronounce the first word, Celtic, but I went with Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. Could have went with Hellhammer or Monotheist, but I think with Morbid Tales, Celtic Frost was starting to shape black metal into what it is today. Because at the beginning, Bathory was like the first true black metal band, and I still stand by that. I think they are the first true black metal band. But people keep saying Bathory, Venom, or Merciful Fate, and I don't think Merciful Fate, in my opinion, is black metal. I think they're more of a heavy metal band, and I really like them. But with Celtic Frost, them, in my opinion, shaped black metal into what it is. Now, before anyone comes on this video and says, "Oh, that's a thrash album," take another listen. There are tints of black metal thrown in there, and that is why I want that album buried with me, because it shaped black metal into what it is. If it wasn't for bands like Celtic Frost, Bathory, or Venom, maybe Burzum, we wouldn't have bands like Immortal, Inquisition, Dark Funeral, Dark Throne, Marduk, 1349, Mgwa, Take, Horna, Behexen. I mean, I can go on and on, because there are so many great black metal bands, and it's because of Celtic Frost that we have black metal. So, yeah, that's my number 2. Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. Now, number 1. This one, in my honest opinion, easily I want this album buried with me for obvious reasons. And I'm just going to go ahead and hold up the album now. Judas Priest with Painkiller. Now, this album came out in 1990. In 1990. I don't have much to say about this album that already has been said. All I'm gonna say is give this album a listen, and then you'll understand why. But with this was a hard pick. I could have went with British Steel, or Screaming for Vengeance, Stained Class, or anything like that. But I mean, obviously, Judas Priest, absolute classic band. Not only a classic band, but my favorite band of all time. I think they're just absolutely incredible. But they got like so many albums out. It's really hard for me to keep up with Judas Priest. I know they've got like another one dropping this year, and that's kind of crazy that they're still going. But I chose Painkiller by Judas Priest because, for me personally, this is my favorite Judas Priest album. And, well, not only did I choose this album because it's Judas Priest, but Judas Priest is my favorite band of all time. I mean, Rob Halford, his vocals on this album are absolutely at his highest. I mean, the high notes that he hits on this album, especially on the opening track, Painkiller, just absolutely incredible. The iconic drum intro, which I know Loudwire did, the iconic drum intros of all time. In my opinion, that should have been number 1 because it's just really fast-paced. It gets you going for that song. I mean, great stuff. I mean, Painkiller, All Guns Blazing, Metal Meltdown, Nightcrawler. But if I had to choose my 3, I'd say Metal Meltdown, All Guns Blazing, and Painkiller. But yeah, this is the one album I want buried with me when I die, is Judas Priest's Painkiller, released in 1990. The vocals are perfect, the instrumentation is great. This is the most heavy sounding album by Judas Priest, and it's absolutely incredible. Give this a listen. Alright guys, so that's it. Those are my top 5 metal albums that I want buried with me. If you want to check out Count Blagorath's video, I'll have a link for it in the description box below. Definitely check it out. Check out his video, check out his channel. He's a great YouTuber. In fact, I want to give him a shout out because it's because of him I listened to Blasphemy's Fallen Angel of Doom. Count Blagorath, if you're seeing this video, man, Blasphemy's Fallen Angel of Doom is an absolute great album. I really enjoyed it for what it was. Some awesome Bastille, black metal, war metal, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, thanks man for that. And that's it guys for this video. Stay tuned, Dakota and I will do something special for the 400th subscriber. And until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe down below. We're on the road to 500 now. Hit the bell so that way you don't miss any more videos like this in the near future. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys for 400 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next video.